Hey YouTube, Sam here. Well, I'm back on my truck again here, and of course I was going to show you exactly what was wrong with it, but things started working right when I went to start filming. What it is though is my windshield wipers, when I turn them on and try and turn them off, they'll either won't turn off or they'll stop in the middle after they've gone for a while, and then they'll stop in the middle of the window, and then I gotta turn them on, and they go again for a while even if I got them off, and then sooner or later finally they'll fall where they're supposed to fall. Well, I'm about to hopefully fix that problem, and I'll show you what you need to buy for that, I hope. At least this is what the guy at the parts place told me I'd probably need it. So either way, and this is it here, and it is a pulse board for the windshield wiper motor. And I don't know if these numbers will make any sense if you go to buy one, or if this is just the numbers off of the place where I bought them from. This is what they mark them with. So, and what I got where I got this from, I got a buddy that works in a wrecking yard, and they actually get new parts there quite often to sell, and he hooked me up with this for a decent price. So anyhow, we're going to go ahead and put this thing on, and yet again it's called a pulse board. This is the windshield wiper, the motor's right here, and this is the box where we're going to replace whatever that is, the board. Anyhow, it is on the upper part of the firewall here. You can see this is where the hood actually comes down onto the gasket here, and it is on the driver's side, so it's real easy to get to. If you're short, you might need a little bit of a ladder to get to it, but beyond that, this looks like it'll be hopefully an easy job. I may have just bit myself there by saying something like that. And the first thing we got here is a T20. It is a Torx bit 20. Now you can use whatever one you can find. I happen to have this one that's kind of like a screwdriver. And it looks to me like there's 3 of these that need to come out. And mine actually came with new ones, but I still am going to keep them and not drop them. And quite honestly, I will probably keep this part. I know I'm a pack rat, but I will keep it because it does work in an emergency situation. If it quit working altogether for some reason, the new one I have, you know, I know this one will work, at least until I can get another one. So, well, that came off easy enough. It's just a plastic cover piece. Set that to the side. I believe it comes with a new one of those as well. Alright, next thing we need to do is, this is actually all attached to this, so I need to pull this little safety latch. It keeps it from coming loose, and we're gonna pry this up carefully and pull that on out. That was actually fairly easy for one of those kind of things, so you don't have to really pry too hard. Then I'm hoping, yep, just take the little where you plug in at and pull it straight out. That came right on out. Got these side by side here, and this one seems like it has a lot more going on than this one. It's got like 3 of these here and all kinds of stuff, and this is all quite a bit smaller. And this is actually for what says 97 1500, which mine is an 87, or I mean 98 3500. So all in all, I'm really wondering, they're the same size. Hopefully this one is just more of a compact deal. They use less to make it because it probably costs less. But I'm gonna go ahead and stick it in, because size wise, the amount of plugs in there and the way the plugs are all look the same. About the only thing difference is this stuff here. This is even the same here. There's a lot more on this one, so I'm going to go ahead and stick this in, see if it works. And I'm going to go ahead and put this back in where the other one is. Slide it straight in. Maybe. Okay. Okay, that went in a little bit harder right here. It looks like there's some sort of prongs that you have to kind of plug in right here on this bottom corner. But it did go in. Gently kind of pushing on it. Want to be real careful with this stuff because I'm sure it's not super well made. And then I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to put the plate back on. You don't need to see me do that. You slap the plate on, put 3 screws in, and we'll plug that in. So the cover's back on. I actually used the old screws because it came with some really shiny chrome screws, and quite honestly, I'm not a shiny chrome kind of guy because I don't have the patience nor the time to want to buff things out that much. And I plugged her back in. So hopefully this all works and fixes my problem. If not, at least you know how to replace one of these now. Alright, I got my truck pulled outside so I can hopefully spray some stuff here. Now admittedly, like I said, it was working before I did this. Mainly I'm checking to make sure that this board works for all the different slow, medium, and high speeds and intermittent and all that. I'm also going to check my fluid, window washer fluid, because it wasn't working all the time. Yet again, when it was working, everything worked. When it wasn't working, it was intermittently wiping whenever it felt like it, no matter what. So sometimes even when I had it shut off, I'd drive down the road and all of a sudden the windshield wipers would come on for no reason for a while. So hopefully this fixes that problem. Right now we'll just make sure that this board actually works in this truck, and I haven't done anything yet, so you'll see with me. Seemed to work. Everything's working the way it should. I got a little worried there at the beginning. It's really, that first slow one's really slow, but it does seem to work in all the different areas. I probably won't show you that whole thing other than to tell you it is working, because I don't know how to fast forward through things, so that'd be a pretty boring video to do that. But it is working. The part that I got seems to work for this truck and all the things. The windshield wiper fluid's working. So whether or not this actually fixed the problem, I don't know. Like I said, it was working before I started doing this, but it is working well, so that's a good thing. Oh, the other thing. I realize some of you eagle-eyed people might see that this is going off the edge over here. I have a problem with this window shield wiper. Before I ever bought the truck, it must have got bent or something, or they stripped out a couple teeth on it, because it either goes too far one way or too far the other way. I can't seem to get that right, so at some point in time you'll probably see a video on me replacing this whole mechanism over here at some point. That'll be down the road though. I got way too many other projects to do. Alright, this is Sam, Jack of all, Master of none. You all have a good one.